I think one of you guys yelled at me because I didn't even say we were recording yet.
It might have been me.
Neither one of us would ever yell at you.
I'm the sacred cow. Welcome to the Itch Network podcast. The date is 5/28/2020, or as I call it, Xenoblade Chronicles Eve. Can't wait. The game's coming out tonight. I already pre-ordered it, so I'm just waiting to download. Well, no, I already downloaded it. I'm waiting to play it. So maybe like 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
10 o'clock or something.
Yeah.
Super pumped. But we got some fun stuff today to talk about. JD, you got the news?
I have news.
Excellent. I've got one story of my own that I'm excited to talk about. But before we get into any of that, Eric, what you been playing, what you been watching, and we all know you're playing that D&D.
Heck yeah. I'm all over that D and D. Been doing that.
Some of that D.
I started catching up on some anime. I caught up to Black Clover. Still fun. It's not the best thing ever, but it's fun.
Black Clover. Oh, is that an anime?
Yeah.
Okay.
Black Clover, and then I caught up on My Hero Academia. Saw the season finale finally.
And what were you whelmed?
I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I was a little overwhelmed. Just overwhelmed.
Just overwhelmed.
Two separate words there. And then video games. I started up Final Fantasy 14 after I beat Final Fantasy 7.
Damn, son.
Restarted, got that up and running. I actually had to create an entire new account. And I level boosted a character and story skipped up to where I was on my other account.
You can story skip up to a certain point?
Yeah. So I story skipped to Stormblood. I cannot remember that name.
You're gonna forget it pretty easily.
Yeah. I story skipped up to the beginning of Stormblood because that's where I left off on my PC Final Fantasy 14, since I had to create a new account so that I could play on PS4 because of a bunch of drama there. I don't want to get into that. So now I'm just rebuying the game because it was free on PS4 this month, and they give you a month free. I was like, you know what? This is a great time to do the boost for $55 and the story skip. $55, it's like buying the game over. And then when I'm ready to play on PC, I will pay the $60 and buy it for the PC. And then I will be pretty much back to where I was, minus like 30 hours of gameplay worth of bonus stuff I did. And in addition to that, I also played Phantasy Star Online 2 with you guys.
Yeah. What do we think? What's the deal with the Phantasy Star Online 2?
Super excited. There's so much stuff in this damn game. I am excited, but I am overwhelmed. One word.
Okay. I was gonna ask.
What about you, Spence? What do you think of it?
Overwhelmed is a good word for it. We're getting like 8. How long has it been out? Like 8 years? Longer?
7.
7 years? We're getting like 7 years worth of content like all at once, and it's a lot. It's also got the free-to-play trappings, which it's always difficult when you get into one of those to know where the road is of not paying versus where it is with paying, and what road it's dragging you down. That's not a knock on the game. That's just how that market is.
Yeah.
Graphically, I didn't mind it, which I thought I would. I'd be like, this game's old as fuck. It's by Sega, so fuck them. But no, it was actually pretty good. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's the best looking game ever, but
it's not.
It carries that Phantasy Star look that I'm used to, but it upgrades it. So, and maybe that's the thing, is the last Phantasy Star I'm really used to is the GameCube one. So it's not like I'm really looking for that much of an upgrade. I know it was out on the 360, whatever, some version of it, but I never played that.
Yeah,
it was terrible.
Oh, that's no good.
Wait, the card game?
Universe.
Oh,
He's talking about Xbox 360.
a lot of people like Universe.
Hmm.
I know it's not for everyone, but it was a step up in the sense that you have more control over your character. You have a sense of agency to avoid attacks better. Because, like, if we played Fantasy Star Episode 1 and 2, your character always does that walk before they start running, which gets a little annoying when you're like, I'm fighting a fucking dragon. Can you move, please?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
there was that glitch where if you go into the menu,
Yeah, you can immediately run.
you can immediately run if you go into the menu.
Yeah,
So I got used to hitting the Z button just before I started moving, just to skip that animation.
yeah. So there's stuff like that, but it's like, come on, man.
I
know.
think where you and I are gonna disagree, Eric, is the character creation.
Oh, you didn't have fun with that?
I mean, I had my fun with it. Let's not lie about that. But
I saw your TC.
it kept going up and down. It was weird. It reminded me of Aeon. Do you remember that one?
Yep.
Where you could kind of customize it maybe a little bit too much. When you customize a little too much, I think it sort of loses the world to me. I get that it's more anime focused, so it kind of makes sense. But as not an anime fan and more of, I wish it was, as much as you might disagree with the character that I made. It was certainly. I wish it was a little bit more
with that at all.
more normal.
No, I mean I was clicking all the advanced options and clicking through all that, but I mean did you click and open all the advanced options?
Yeah, I looked. I mean, if I were to go into that, I'd get lost for 5 days just trying to fix the nose that I screwed up. It's cool that it's there. I mean, for people that like that, I mean, have fun with it. But I really like. If I were to say the perfect character editor, I would probably say Final Fantasy 14. I think it doesn't really let you go too far from their art direction, but it does let you, have fun with it. Warcraft is too restrictive, I think.
I've been saying this for a little while now, but Final Fantasy 14 to me, like everything that an MMO should be doing, it seems to be doing right, except for PvP. It's my only gripe with it. Everything else about Final Fantasy 14 is the best version of an MMO. What else have you been playing, Spence?
Final Fantasy 7, not the remake. I should be playing the remake, but on the button mappers we are likely doing 7. There's going to be a special month. I don't want to ruin it, but it'll be fun. For me, I don't know about for other people. And then I should be playing the remake, but I haven't. I really, really, especially now that Xenoblade Chronicles is out, I need to finish Dragon Quest. It's just a bitch to record it. Like, I am not the kind of guy that likes recording games or streaming for that matter. Like, I think it's very private, and for some reason when I record it, I just don't feel like I'm alone. So, like, I feel like I have to play for an audience, even if I'm not playing for an audience. Like,
because you do.
Yeah. Right. So it's like
because playing one-handed while you fap to Jesse is not entertaining.
Not for most people, no, I assume. JD, what have you been playing?
Fantasy Star, Final Fantasy 14, Final Fantasy 7. I beat 7. What else? Kind of feel like that's Warzone. A little bit of Warzone. And I guess this next week, is it this week? Or next week is going to be Valorant.
Oh, you're doing it.
Yeah, I guess so.
You got a party?
Last week that I was going to do it. I don't know, because like Troy and Chris Klaik have talked about. They're like, yeah, man, we're going to play. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm like, okay, cool. But I don't know if I'm going to stick with it. So part of me is like, I don't want to put anyone else into it if I'm not going to enjoy it and I just leave in like a week.
Well, what if they love it?
If they, I probably won't. I've got too many other games to worry about right now.
I didn't say you. I said, what if the people you bring in love it?
Well, that's good for them.
So bring them.
It's got nothing to do with me. I'm still not going to stick with the game. If you want to play, you can. I'm not your gatekeeper. Just play it. But I'll play with them for a little bit.
That sounds like a cool song. I'm not your
What?
gatekeeper. I'm not your gatekeeper.
Sounds like an 80s
baby.
So yeah, so that's kind of that. I could have sworn I was playing something else, but I can't think of it.
You gonna play Crystal Chronicles? Just got announced for the Switch.
That's one of my stories.
Okay, then I won't mention it. But I have exciting news for that. I have a proposition for you.
But I won't talk about it.
We'll talk about it later.
All right.
And I've got a proposition for you on that one. Let's hit Metacritic real quick. Movies. Let's get started with the top is at 86, unfortunately. It's called The Vast of Night. Gets an 86. It's an Amazon original. Man, the movie industry changed so quickly, didn't it? That now, like, you have movies that are only for streaming nowadays. And it's just kind of a normal thing.
I mean, it's been... Wait, The Vast of Night came out in 2019.
What?
Wow.
What?
Yeah, it came out in 2019.
So wait, go back into that.
Was
It's
released-
May 15th, 2020.
I got May 29th, 2020.
In the top right underneath the 2019.
Yeah.
What's that?
That's release date.
So it was released in the U.S.?
Oh, is it like a foreign movie? These names
That's
don't look
New
like
Mexico.
foreign.
Let's go to the Wikipedia on it. Then.
And while you're doing that, in the twilight of the 1950s, on one fateful night in New Mexico.
Sundance.
Oh, I gotcha. A young, winsome switchboard operator, Faye, and charismatic radio DJ Everett discover a strange audio frequency that could change their small town and the future forever. Dropped phone calls, AM radio signals, secret reels of tape forgotten in a library. Do they have Verizon Wireless? Switchboards, cross patch lines, and an anonymous phone call lead Faye and Everett on a scavenger hunt toward the unknown. It's a sci-fi mystery thriller fantasy. It's only 89 minutes. That's a win in my book.
That's what 2 raids in Final Fantasy, 3 raids in Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Probably fit that in.
All right, next up we got 86, The Player. Story about JD.
I've seen that porn.
How about this one? On the Record. Gets an 85. How about this porn? I'm No Longer Here. Gets an 68. I'm no longer here in parentheses, so it don't matter. Then finally, getting a 59 is The High Note. Never heard of it.
It did not hit that high note.
But she did.
Oh no!
What?
I've seen the what's it called on this because Ice
Trailer.
Cube's in it.
Who's in it?
I think I
Ice Cube.
just saw this on an actual commercial out in the living room like 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, they have really invasive ads on YouTube. It's kind of annoying. They just start playing the trailer.
That's why people hate it.
It's like the first 15 seconds you can't do anything about it, or first 10 seconds or whatever.
For The High
I'm just
Note?
like, wow. Yeah. I'm just like by the point that they put on Ice Cube, I was like, all right, I'll watch it for a little bit. But then I was like, okay, all right, I'm done. Back to my fail compilations. But,
All right, the games.
Stop watching my life.
The games topping the list
yeah.
with an 89 is Xenoblade Chronicles Remastered.
Isn't this the third time?
But it's
It's the third
Xenoblade
time-
Chronicles Eve.
Well, it's been
Well,
reviewed.
it's based off the what's it called?
Yeah,
it's
the
not
critics
the
review.
public. Yeah, it's the critics.
Public don't get a voice on this one. It's all about those really reliable critics.
For the life of myself on this channel, I will continue to make that comment.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Someone's got to speak up for those fans because I won't. So, and it just barely edged out the second place. Final Fantasy VII Remake gets an 87. Oh, I swear, JD, just a little bit. It's
Wait,
just a
why
little
is the
bit.
remastered version 3 points?
Higher.
No, the remastered is 3 points lower than the original.
No.
Did they screw something up?
It was probably a big, huge wow moment back then, and now it's less so because it's an old as fuck game. It's like 8 years old or 10 years old or something. It's fucking great though. I highly, highly recommend it to anybody. It plays almost like an MMORPG, but it's got little mixes of action in there and a great story. Worth playing.
Good for them.
And it's better apparently than Final Fantasy VII. I mean, that's straight from Metacritic right here, so that's pretty good. Next up,
the critics' voices are the only ones that matter.
They liked a couple things I disagree with, but right here I think they got it right. Next up is What the Golf? What the Golf?
I think I know that.
It's an 86. It's a golf
I think that's the golf game you play with your friends.
You mean the one where you walk outside in Arizona?
Yeah.
No, I don't know what this is. Yeah,
Cool.
it's on Switch. Good for them.
I think Robot Golf would have been gigantic. Robot Golf would have been more interesting of a game.
Dude, that's
that was.
that's a brilliant idea.
No, that's a game.
Oh, is it?
I believe so.
Mechs playing golf in like a real city?
Yeah.
That's genius. Who did that?
It's gigantic Robot Golf.
That's what it's called?
I'm like 100% sure.
That's
I'm like Metacritic 100%.
100-foot robot golf.
That's what 100-foot Robot Golf.
That's
It's
brilliant.
ridiculous. But that's
That's-
Japan for you, right?
That's brilliant. I love that. That's way better than What the Golf. I don't even care what the golf is.
it's kitty oriented. What the fuck are corgis doing?
All right, next up we get Minecraft Dungeons. Gets a 70. Interesting concept on that one. Minecraft
Yeah.
Dungeon Crawler.
Troy and Chris tried to get me to play that, and I was just like, no, thank you. Because they're like, oh, it's a dungeon crawler, but it's like a really scaled back Diablo.
Right. Because it's meant
I'm
for
like,
like toddlers, right?
Yeah, at least that's the way I see it. I'm just no, thank you.
Yeah. Maybe they can sway you otherwise, and you can give us a good review on Minecraft Dungeons.
Probably not.
Do you know how many
Spend
kids?
my money.
You know how many reviews we'll probably get? Reviews we'll probably get for reviewing Minecraft, and we'll get yelled at because we swear in the videos.
It's all about your numbers.
We'll get yelled at because we say it's a terrible game.
Yeah.
Just say, oh, it's not good enough. You best thing ever.
It's just a knockoff of Diablo.
Yeah, piece of shit, Diablo.
5 million down likes. Hey, we just made a couple $100.
Yeah.
Yay.
Down like all you want. They do on that one video. All right, so the
Right.
last one we got is Those Who Remain. It's a 56 on PS4. It's a psychological thriller game that takes place in Dormant, a small town in the U.S. It appears
It's a
to be
goddamn narrative game.
regular and typical American town at first glance. However, it is cursed by a demon who shrouded everything in darkness. Most of the town's population has been trapped inside the darkness with no means of escape.
This reminds me of what's that guy's the Call of Cthulhu? What's that guy's name?
H.P. Lovecraft?
H.P. Lovecraft.
Interesting. The reviews are not good.
No.
But again, as Eric said,
Doesn't look bad.
it's just the reviewers, man. They don't know. They make a lot of bad choices, particularly on movies, but it happens in gaming as well.
Yeah, I mean it's really hard to like listen to people when they're reviewing games when it's like, oh man, maybe their wife left them this week, and that's why their review is slanted negatively, or that's why they don't like this female protagonist.
Right. They're
Right,
sick. They're mad at women.
Yeah,
A lot of incels probably reviewing these games, you know.
yeah.
Games that are coming out, we're talking about releases. The only one that matters is Xenoblade Chronicles, but if we want to keep looking, I guess we have the Outer Worlds coming to Switch. That's kind of impressive.
Good for them.
Later on in the month, we've got some a huge release. We're having The Last of Us come out on June 19th, but
I actually have that day off.
oh damn.
So yeah, I'll have it beat by the weekend.
Nice.
That one is gonna tug at me, man.
What do you think about those leaks? I didn't hear about them, because I didn't look for them. I didn't read them. I didn't do any of that.
Yeah.
But what they're saying is it's like a very politically swayed thing.
I heard I heard the biggest thing that people don't like about it is it's polarizing.
Oh, then I'm all for it then.
Yeah, I mean that was the first one.
Right.
The only problem is, I know the actions and the events. I don't know the context. So.
Speaking of politics, this is the only news that I have, but it is too funny not to talk about. It is political, but I think it's funny on both sides, so it doesn't really matter. Have you guys heard about the Twitter drama with Donald Trump?
There's always something going on there.
Run away from him. Seriously.
Trump has signed an executive order to weaken social media companies. Okay, this is done by a stupid left-winger. But either way, this is basically what happened is Donald Trump started, he tends to exaggerate, we'll say, in the nicest way possible on his tweets. And Twitter started putting warnings on his tweets saying, check for the facts.
Check. Yeah.
And so Donald Trump put an executive order today, aiming at limiting the broad legal protections enjoyed by social media companies. So basically, I think both of them are ridiculous because Trump is mad because somebody actually he's lying so much, or according to them, lying so much that Twitter is now putting fact check warnings on his tweets, which is hilarious in and of itself. But also, it's being done by Twitter, who lets anybody say anything, and they have like people that pretend that they're unicorns putting tweets out there talking about like social rules. I just think from both angles, it is the funniest thing I've ever heard. You cannot write it. It's so
That's
amazing.
Very true.
It's incredible.
I hadn't thought about it that way.
Well, apparently, Mark Zuckerberg released a video or something like that talking about you shouldn't have to fact check people on social media. So another website responded, I forget what it's called, stating Mark Zuckerberg dead at 36 states you shouldn't have to fact check. It's just, oh man, it's a snowball.
Dude, this is the greatest presidency of all time. It has to be. I can't imagine there's ever been one. It doesn't matter what side you're on. Like, who cares about that? It is so entertaining. Just seeing this guy go on Twitter and say whatever he wants. It's amazing.
It's fucking so weird.
It's surreal.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Because like people will talk about your country that are outside of your country.
Oh man, they're right this time. They finally got it right.
He's a
like back in the day, like even with George Bush or whatever, France would be saying their shit and be like, "Hey, you know what though? Like we got Circle K. Like we got some good stuff."
But you got in and out. Yeah, it's great.
They're like, "Your president's crazy," and we're like, "Yeah." Probably a little bit crazy.
Did you see this? Did you see this post?
Yeah.
You don't even know.
We can't even.
You don't even know.
We can't even hide it anymore. It's on Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's like all the other presidents. There was a scandal where, like, years later we find out, or like at some point we find out their big dark secrets.
Yeah.
Trump's just like, I'm a shithead. Look at all this stuff. Look at my thoughts.
Yeah.
Brought him to the forefront.
He's the most honest guy ever, and it's amazing.
God.
There's literally no skeletons in his closet because he dances them around the White House like every day. Come on. Oh my god. Well, that leads us to our next segment before we hit the news. JD's favorite. I know he loves it, even though he claims not to.
I don't claim.
Puts his head down like he's sad, but this is his favorite thing. I'm trying to find the music. There we go. I need music. I turned it up this time. It was a little too quiet last time. But it's like hip-hop music, you know?
You're fucking kidding me.
Oh, no. All right, welcome to our latest segment. Who's blacker? Eric, do you want to do it, or do you want to just use the one from last time?
We'll give it another go.
Okay, go ahead.
Welcome everyone to the. Oh, how about clear my throat a little bit? Yeah. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Welcome everyone to the Itch Network plays What's Blacker, where we ask our friend JD here multiple choice questions. Oh, we're just not going to use this one. Multiple choice questions, and we ask him which is blacker.
You got it. Thank you.
Killing it. 10 out of 10.
All right, JD, are you ready to play What's Blacker?
Never. But let's do it.
All right. First question. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. I know it's quiet. I'm just going to turn down a smidgen. Okay.
First question.
Question
My
number
shirt
1.
or his shirt?
What's that?
My shirt or his shirt?
Oh. Well.
Been wearing mine more.
All right. All right. Question the first. Will Smith's Miami or Will Smith's Getting Jiggy with It?
That's a good question. I'm gonna say Getting Jiggy with It.
It's blacker.
Well, yes, because it also taught white people to dance too. So there you go.
It's hot.
And he also references it in his track with Joyner Lucas, which was released about a week and a half ago, too. It's got more cultural relevancy.
Okay. Very good.
Should have just said parents don't understand.
Then you would have been like, that would be a toss.
Well, I don't know. A lot of people like Wild West.
I thought parents just don't understand would be blacker because it's like, it kind of fits into like a younger hip hop niche. To me, again, you're the expert. You're the expert here. But to me, that's what it was. Whereas Miami is like a white people dance to it kind of song.
Miami or Getting Jiggy with It?
Miami. Well, both of them to me.
It was like one is literally about dancing.
Yeah. That's just how I thought about that one. All right. Second question.
Yeah.
Hockey or baseball?
Baseball.
I knew it. I don't think anything is whiter than hockey.
Oh, there's like 2 hockey players that are black.
Croquet?
What, hockey or croquet?
Yeah.
Croquet, I think. I believe. Because I think they play in Africa.
Really?
I think.
They don't play hockey in Africa?
Oh,
No. Oh. I had another one that I was going to use, but I didn't because of one obvious answer. But yeah, that was...
Yeah, South Africa.
South Africa's Dutch.
It's probably still a bunch of white people.
Yeah, South Africa's full of Dutch
hockey.
people.
Wait, black people hockey?
No.
Let me Google blacks playing hockey.
Yeah. Why can't it be black guys? Why does it have to be
I was
white
more
eyes?
interested in the fact that they actually played hockey in a hot zone environment.
Well, in the Mighty Ducks.
The only hockey team from South Africa, from Africa, yes, sub-Saharan Africa. There is a hockey team in Africa.
See?
Guess what? They're all black.
Wow.
But hey, this is why it's an article.
Yeah.
It's because they're like, you'll never guess what the blacks are doing.
Newsflash.
Oh man.
There's field hockey.
That's what they played in the Mighty Ducks.
No.
It's just on grass.
No, when the... Wait.
Field hockey's on grass.
Oh, never mind. Okay, sorry. Street hockey. That's what. Okay. I didn't know you could play hockey on grass.
Yeah. You run around with this. It's basically you run around with a croquet mallet.
Smacking people.
Oh, it's scary. All right, are you ready for the next question?
Hit me.
This one, they're kind of unrelated, but they're people. So here we go. Tiger Woods or Wayne Brady? Doing some talking right
Might have to edit that. To be honest with you, so both of these tie into Dave Chappelle. Tiger Woods did get drafted by by black people.
Drafted?
If I remember, yeah, the racial draft. He got drafted by the black people.
Oh, is this
Bill Burr was on that skit too. Yeah.
This is Dave Chappelle.
And then,
Okay.
yeah, and then Dave Chappelle was also on, or had Wayne Brady on his show.
Right. He was the crazy guy.
He was collecting money from his hose.
Yeah.
He shot Dave Chappelle in the leg, and he was afraid.
Yeah, I remember. Was he talking about eating a sandwich or something?
Yes, give me a sandwich. Yeah, I'd go with Tom Brady.
Wayne Brady.
Wayne Brady.
You gotta say his name right. Come on.
Oh man.
Who's
I mean,
blacker,
we could throw
Tiger
Tom
Woods,
Brady
Wayne
in
Brady,
here.
or Tom Brady?
Not Tom Brady. I've got my reservations with Mr. Brady on that one. Mr. Tom Brady.
I was gonna say, now you're just saying Mr. Brady. Well, there's too many Bradys involved in this.
It's like a bunch of Brady's.
I'm so
It's the
confused.
Brady Bunch, yeah.
You're braiding the Bradys together.
All right, and I got one more.
Alright.
Blogging or fad dieting? What's blacker?
What?
Blogging or fad dieting?
None.
One's gotta be blacker.
Give me like a legit one.
What do you mean?
That's dumb.
No, well, that's funny because that's what white people do.
Is blog and have fad dieting?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. I'm sure Mexican people do it too. That's not really what's blacker. Give me something better. That's a lame one.
What are you
All right,
talking about?
Spence, we're gonna co-write one.
Okay.
Afternoon tea or
Afternoon tea or a lemonade with another fruit in it.
Lemonade. Oh, with another fruit in it.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I know lemonade. Because all you guys do is put sugar
Jump
in
on
it.
that. Hit the buzzer. Lemonade, motherfucker. Or afternoon tea. Afternoon tea sounds like that is some European stuff.
Mhm.
That sounds like that's part of
British.
British,
Tea time.
French Revolution.
There are black people in Britain, though.
There are.
John
There's black
Boyega.
people everywhere.
John
yeah,
Boyega.
well, yeah, in London. Yeah, I ripped that. Yeah.
John
I'm gonna go
Boyega
with-
took the bold stance that he does not like racists this week. He's very brave.
I think it's even funnier that people actually got mad at him for doing that because I'm not here for the kids.
Yeah, I'm not even the kids.
And then the first comment below, fuck those kids. I love it. I'm gonna say lemonade
with a fruity flavor in it.
with a fruity flavor or a fruit in it.
A fruity flavor added to it, like you know, like
pink lemonade.
raspberry lemon. No, pink lemonade is not a fruity flavor. That is sugar.
Yes, it is.
It's
Drink it and tell me otherwise.
It's got to be like a raspberry lemonade, a blueberry lemonade, something like that.
I'm gonna tell it to you like this: anything that you could put just grips of sugar into it.
You could do that with tea.
Yeah, but it's not the same translation. Like
I know
you gotta
mean.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you put a shit ton of sugar in a tea, you're diabetic off the first sip, right? But if you take a ton of sugar and not satisfied, if you take a ton of sugar in a lemonade, you're diabetic off the first sip. But goes good with the chicken. It's okay.
Very good.
So
Thank
that
you.
part where it was like not satisfied, I was like, oh yeah, I get that now.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man.
You can't make tea like afternoon tea time taste good as an after school Kool-Aid.
The exception is if you guys have ever been to Popeyes and gotten their iced tea. That's some bomb ass tea.
Well, so when I'm saying tea, I'm talking
like
hot
the
teapot,
Yeah, that's the only tea I think is
not
acceptable.
iced tea,
Yeah,
and not that iced tea.
and not those cubes, not those ice cubes. Yeah, it's lemonade.
Okay. Very good. Thank you, JD, for enriching us culturally, as always.
Doing my racial service.
We need it now more than ever with those riots.
Yeah, among all kinds of things. Jeez.
All right, JD. Thank you for that. Let's hit us up with some news. What do we got?
All right, there's hockey in Africa. Didn't know
Main
that.
story.
There's a hockey.
There's a hockey in Africa. Oh man, hey, the more you know. I learned something today. I might actually research that.
I'm going to as well.
Just come back. Who's the best player? Oh man,
What's his stats?
what's the rags to riches story? in
Yeah,
Africa?
it's literally every
Or
player.
rags to rags. Oh man, I swear, oof. They're gonna hunt me down. So,
I'll protect you.
thank you. Thank you. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it. All right. Yes. So, first news story: gaming. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles has a release date after getting delayed. It's delayed back in December 2019. It will effectively arrive the 27th of August for PS4, Switch, and mobile.
Android and iOS.
A little surprising on
Wow.
those.
Oh shit! I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Mm.
How we need to look up how that plays.
The good side, cross plat.
Oh, that's even better.
Yes.
Between all, or between Switch and PS4?
I mean, I can only assume all if they said it and they just generalized it.
That's gonna be one simple as fuck game if that's crossplay between phones.
Have you played it?
I remember
It
it
is-
being pretty simple, but still, I have a little bit of expectation.
Yeah, it's a simple game. Like you have hearts for lives. It's like playing Zelda, man. But fun experience either way. I'm absolutely gonna get this.
Yeah.
Um,
You talked about playing Crystal Chronicles a lot back in the day. We
yes.
we almost invested in Crystal Chronicles, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
Dude, imagine if we actually did that and then they announced this. I'd lose
Yeah.
my fucking mind. Yes, this is one of the ones that got away. I never beat this game. We got far enough in it, but it was all about waiting for Troy to spend the night, and then all of us would play.
Mhm.
And then it just, other stuff happened. We ended up moving. I don't even know what happened to my copy of Crystal Chronicles. I can't even find it. So,
Well, my
all kinds of stuff.
my proposition for this is at the Button Mappers, they're super excited for it as well. So we may have a consistent party if you're down to play.
Yeah, I mean, I've got no problem with that. I want to see how it looks like. I don't think there's an end game element to it.
Mhm.
Most Final Fantasies have some level of it. So I'm just like, huh. Okay, we'll see. But,
I'm excited, man. This is gonna be great.
Yeah, it'll be nice. Did you want to talk about this? Next,
Oh.
because we're all about the consumer here. Sometimes over
You guys are,
3,000 over 3,000 PC games discounted on a summer sale. I just want to point out, GOG is also included on this. I know a lot of people don't like GOG for the shit they've done. Completely understand. A lot of times you can get stolen keys on GOG. It's not really, it's not. I can't think of the word, but it's morally might not be the best thing. But there are sales going on in other areas to point out. Where is it? PS4 sales. They have a games under 20 sale. Xbox Live is doing I guess they just said a weekly sale. And
Well, that's what their thing is called.
Yeah,
Weekly sale.
it's just the weekly sale.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess the other big thing is PlayStation Network is doing a double discount sale for PlayStation Plus subscribers. I always just want to point that out, just because it's important for to let people know, hey, there's good deals.
When does it start?
It actually ends on the 15th. It's this GOG thing runs until the 15th. The rest of these, they don't give me dates. Let's see.
June 11th for
So-
PS4.
So you got some time. There's some other games on there.
You got roughly 10 days.
Yeah.
It started now? It's on right
It
now.
might be.
I
I haven't seen anything saying start date, so I'm assuming it's going on as of right now.
Yeah. So
If not, it'll be Monday until the 11th or whatever.
So games on sale: Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Origins at $20 and $14 respectively. I'm just looking through important ones. Far Cry Primal, if you care about it. I don't know if people really like that one. $11. Capcom Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite Deluxe is $18.
Shining Force 1 and 2 for $12.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Well,
They sell
Sega
those?
Genesis classics, so it's in that bundle.
The Sega Genesis Classics bundle.
Oh,
uh,
okay. And
the
other
re-
games, but
But no, Shining Force 1 and 2.
that's not
There's
that's not a bad
Phantasy
deal.
Stars on there.
Yeah,
Um,
Phantasy Star. It's not a bad deal.
Watch Dogs 2 Gold Edition. I actually like Watch Dogs 2. And Prey, if no one's ever played Prey. I haven't.
Dude.
I'm actually tempted to get it.
I'm so torn on that game.
Yeah.
Dishonored
Wait, you played
2. Dishonored 2 was my favorite game of whatever year it came out. That game was mind-blowingly good.
Yeah.
And I know it's the same studio. It's good graphics, good shit looks like.
Yeah.
I'm not into like horror games.
Yeah.
So but I love the studio, man.
Yeah, and I like that they redid it because if you play the first Prey, it's just about Native Americans. No offense, representation, I guess.
Native
but...
Americans, boring.
Anyway, there's an alien invasion. They get abducted, and all this other stuff happens. And like, apparently, he's in touch with the spiritual side of his culture. So it's like follow the eagle and all that stuff. And you're just like,
it was definitely unique when it came out.
I'd rather not.
Right? It was pretty unique, at least.
It was
in concept.
The concept is unique, but I don't. Watching Troy like beat that game, I just don't feel any interest in ever playing that one.
Yeah.
And I'm happy they actually rebooted it. They kept some elements the same from what I hear. I haven't played it, but the redone one. But something to consider.
Okay.
So yeah, deals always good. Next story: BlizzCon has been canceled. This is just more of a passing story.
Yeah.
That one was up in the air about whether or not it was going to be canceled. Turns out it is. Kind of sucks for a couple reasons. One, this is an important year. World of Warcraft, Diablo 4, Overwatch 2. All of those are all titles that are coming up. I believe Overwatch was pushed back to next year, so I could be wrong. But
they're just getting more and more irrelevant by the month.
Yeah.
I don't know why they would push it back.
Well, I hear you on that because Overwatch, at least on the PC, you just have the launcher. So it's not like people are going to go to the store to pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say your biggest audience is on PC. And even if it's not, most people I might be wrong because it's much more accessible on console.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time,
I feel like PC, there's so many better shooter options. Or maybe it's more shooter focused on PC.
Yeah.
They would have
there's a higher barrier to entry.
Especially
I mean, you have Destiny, you have Call of Duty, you have Counter.
You will have Valorant.
Right, and that's what I mean is that it's now, especially with Valorant, and then that Amazon shooter coming out. Like,
that's already out.
Who the hell's playing Overwatch when those games are coming? Like, immediately, who's playing?
That is one of my stories, though. We'll talk about.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, kind of unfortunate. You guys know I'm a huge Diablo fan, so
as far as BlizzCon, so I've actually paid for the digital ticket
to
BlizzCon every other year. Pretty much every year that they announce they're releasing a World of Warcraft, I've always bought the digital ticket. And it's not really going to change much for me.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still going to show the videos and that's it?
They should.
They'll probably, if you buy the digital, they'll probably still show the stages, and they'll probably just have someone standing in their bedroom with a green screen walking around a room, and it's going to look like that's what it's going to be, and you're going to pay $55 to watch someone do that, and you're going to watch like just basically like a 5-hour video of it. So I could totally see them doing that, or like it'll be like a 2-3 day event. They'll still probably do their PvP matches. Why wouldn't they?
So they said exactly what you're talking about. I don't get why it's being pushed to next year. Someone made a comment, no telling if this is true. Their virtual ticket might be wrapped up in third-party vendor contracts. You never know. We don't see any of that stuff, so whatever. I don't agree with most of this, but right at the end, people would I don't see why people would expect it to be priced at this point. Just you're the only people that really do that now, especially with E3 being gone. Everything else is usually invitational.
You know what they do? They offer pre-order a pre-order bonus. If you pre-order whatever thing, you get early access to these videos or something or whatever.
Yeah.
So they tie it into their sales and they go, oh yeah, if you pre-order, we'll send you news first. We'll give you because there's like private Twitch streams, isn't there? Right?
Like premium.
Yeah.
Well, you just can't comment though. Like, well, at least for the for like Capcom Cup, for instance, they have it to where it's like a premium stream. You can't comment or anything like that on it. And what they'll do is they'll have another guy that ends up hosting it, and then everyone's in that stream so they can comment. Like that's the extent of what I've seen. If they're at the point where they're private, then I guess I get that. But it doesn't stop someone from just capturing it and setting up a separate stream.
Yeah.
Even on a different website, you can go to YouTube with that.
Yeah.
What they're gonna do?
I don't know.
Ideas.
We'll see. Hopefully everything works out for them and they.
I don't know. I just think it's such a weird thing to say BlizzCon 2020 is canceled when it's like that'd be like saying like
trailers are canceled.
Yeah, exactly. Trailers are canceled. Like what is that other one that happens?
E3.
E3.
Yeah.
E3 is canceled. We're not going to send you guys any trailers. We're not going to show off any of our work.
Yeah. I mean, half of E3, especially nowadays, gets released before E3 happens in trailers.
Yeah.
So it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
Next story. I thought this was interesting, not necessarily that it affects any of us. Apparently, Phantasy Star's launch was a mess. According to what they're saying.
Who's saying that?
This is Kotaku.
Oh, geez, here we go.
But it's more something I did actually experience this on the day of, but that was before we played, and I checked it afterwards today. No problems. So they're saying that it seems to be that the installation for the game has to happen to some players every time they're trying to play the game. It is a larger game to install, so it's this huge waiting game for some players. They're upset that they have to install it every time they log out of the game and then come back in. I mean, I guess it's actually happening to them, but I can't really say none of us experienced it. So I was just like, whatever. And I
Trevor did.
today. Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh.
Failed to download the latest version. Please wait a while and try again. That's exactly the error he got.
That's what I got before we started playing. But like, I just kept trying it, and then I was good. But I don't know. I don't really care. I don't consider it as like it's a mess or it's a nightmare.
It's a opening day issue.
Happens
Happens with every game that comes out.
You did say something that made me go, oh yeah, we are evolving. Where JD was like, well, it launches at 11 o'clock tonight. Can I pre-install it?
Yeah, why can't I pre-install it?
Like, why can't I early install this? Kind of like what you did with Xenoblade Chronicles. Like, don't let me play it until 11 o'clock, but let me install it at least so I can play at 11.
Yeah.
The weirdest thing was there was a couple articles on the internet that said it's already available. So I went to the Microsoft store. Yeah, it is available for Xbox. It wasn't available for PC. So I was just like, what the hell? And then like I was like, the day of, what kind of tomfoolery is this? So yeah, it's a little unusual. But
I gotta download the game I want the day it releases? What kind of bullshit is this?
The fuck?
What is this, 2019?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely evolved because, I mean, back in the day, you'd go to the store, you'd buy a game, you come home, pop in the cartridge, and play.
Yeah.
We've gotten so used to having to buy a game, install it, download the patches, install the patches, and then come back in 3 days to actually play the game.
Yeah.
It's a little unusual. But this is what it is. Next story. Kate Blanchett is starring in the Borderlands movie.
What? Borderlands movie?
Yeah, as Lilith.
Fuck that.
It's another article. It's a slow news week, right?
Fuck.
That's hilarious. Well, this is awkward. Despite my best efforts to persuade her to do otherwise, Kate Blanchett has officially signed up to take part of the upcoming Borderlands movie.
Yeah, she just dropped.
Besides my best efforts.
Yeah, Luke Plunkett. said, "Do not star in the movie." A non-actor told an actor, "Hey, don't. Who's, I believe, won plenty of awards and recognition. Don't act in this." It's her career.
Dude, it's gonna be
Fuck
some
it.
edgelord bullshit. This movie.
You never know.
I got a good idea.
The director is Eli Roth.
It is.
I know that name. What do I know that name from?
He's in what? Inglourious Bastards, I believe, right? No, that is him.
Eli Roth.
Yeah, he's in Inglourious Bastards. He's a director of horror films.
Oh, that was the
he's-
bear, right? The
Yeah. Tommy, something knocks it out of the park. Yeah, that was him. Green Inferno,
Oh,
Hostel.
he directed Cabin Fever?
Directed a lot of shit,
Oh.
apparently. I remember his wife is super hot. That's all I remember.
His wife?
Yeah.
Spouses. Okay, I found her. Oh, hello.
Greetings. Trying to look at what his biggest thing was. I've never seen Cabin Fever, so I guess it was good.
It's different.
But, Hostel, he jumped on, I guess, the bandwagon of that. The sort of torture porn thing. But just give me thank you. Knock the wall, knock knock. Knock knock was the film with where his wife's in. Where I was like, dude, his wife is banging.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, I was about to say John Wick. But he also directed this. Well, wrote and produced The Man with the Iron Fist, featuring Academy Award winner The RZA in his lead role.
The Risen.
Yeah, Wu-Tang
RZA.
Clan.
Who?
So that's how you know. That's how you know.
Rizzo?
Who's blacker, Eric or Spencer? Eric. The RZA. RZA.
The RZA.
Yeah, look it up. Just look it up. RZA. Look it up. You'll be surprised.
Be surprised by what?
About how
That
much
there's a
you
person named RZA?
Yes, the RZA.
I just see RZA. I don't see the.
Okay, fine, whatever.
Robert Fitzgerald Diggs,
Yes.
That's a cool name.
better known as RZA.
Yeah,
Is it RZA or RZA?
RZA.
RZA.
RZA. What kind of street name would that?
Have you guys heard RZA?
That guy's great.
Have I told
Have
you
heard
about
the Wu-Tang?
Have I told you guys the story of Flo Rida?
Shut the fuck up about Florida. What about him?
Dude, okay.
I get triggered.
Side story, and I know we're running out of time, but this is important. I was working in a pharmacy, and we were in Target, so people could buy other stuff, and they'd come up to the pharmacy. And this person said, like, "Can I pay for this while I'm here?" And I was like, "Sure." And it was a CD. And I looked at the CD real quick and scanned it, like, whatever, that's weird. Okay, so I go back to talk to the pharmacy techs, and I'm like, "Why would you name your band Florida?" I swear to God that happened.
Okay.
Wow.
This is a lie, by the way. He was in what's it called? This is the Mark Echo game. He was in the Wu-Tang Clan fighting game, which was great.
RZA?
Well, I'm looking at his Wikipedia, and they're like, he's been in one game. Like, he's been in more. But yeah, Kate Blanchett. She's gonna be Lilith. So good for her.
Did you know that RZA is a distant cousin of Flavor Flav?
Sure, man.
Huh.
This
You're
according
going to be researching that all night while we research hockey in Africa.
Yeah. We've all got new projects. Go.
Yeah. All right. Next, Amazon's Crucible is looking like another Battleborn.
Oh.
Why do you say it's so sad?
Oh, are they trying to
think
say
it's
it's the greatest game ever?
Yeah, it's a fresh wound still, even after all this time. We remember our time that we had with that game. It was
It
great.
was amazing.
8 days later, Crucible players, it was dropped last week, I believe. Crucible players are almost nowhere to be found on the Amazon-owned Twitch streaming service, a strong sign that the community around the game seems to be dwindling. Saying it's part Overwatch, part League of Legends. In a world with games like Valorant, Overwatch, Dota 2, Fortnite, they didn't say League, the bastards. Fine isn't enough. It's just dwindling is the main thing, which I guess
Streams are collectively 600 people or less
yeah.
on average.
Oh, I know her too. She's a nice person, and that's unfortunate. Is that no?
Who?
They have Busta Rhymes. Busta
Oh,
Rhymes.
he's a famous
exhibition
rapper.
match. Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you can decipher that. He's not Busta Tunes, a guitarist. He's Busta Rhymes. Busta Drums.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems like one of the issues might be matchmaking. The long wait times to find a match. There's all kinds of issues, it seems. It peaked at 10,600 concurrent players. Yeah, I saw it in January. Battleborn shutting down. The server shut down in January of 2021. So, one more match, guys.
One more match.
Remember Rosie hit 100 on that game so quick?
Yeah.
He couldn't stop playing that game.
Dude, Rosie loved it.
Yeah, that sucks. But yeah, essentially what's happening is the game is dwindling, which is, looking at the gameplay of it, I was like, graphically, I'm okay with it. Design-wise, character design-wise, I don't give a fuck about any of these people. And I didn't really care too much about the gameplay. I know we talked about, I think, last week about it's like domination,
Mhm.
which is fun in certain games. This clearly isn't it.
Yeah.
So, unfortunate, but it seems like it's happening. And
Bummer.
Eric's favorite, the Sonic the Hedgehog movie is getting a sequel.
Yeah!
Why? Oh, I guess I know why, but why?
I think it's wasn't it the most successful video game movie?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably.
good for them. So, while it's too early for casting announcements, you'd expect Jim Carrey, James Marsden, and Ben Schwartz to be back. The same core team behind the first film, the director and writers are returning. So that's good. Yeah, it had the top grossing opening weekend for video game.
Ever.
Yeah. Which I know is a low bar, but it still cleared it. I mean, you can't really say that because fucking Mortal Kombat came out at its peak.
Yeah.
So, and you better believe I saw that shit in theaters. And then got it for Laserdisc. Hell yeah. Anyway, yeah, just good news.
Okay, I pose this question. What does Sonic the Hedgehog 2 look like?
We have Tails.
Yeah.
Right. Tails came out. That's a spoiler, but I think we're okay.
And probably the Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah, they've already shown off the echidnas. So now you just need to be like, all right, well, you can. I don't know if I'd put them in 2. I don't know if they're going to follow the game or not.
I don't know if they're going to get a third one.
So it might be best to put them in.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna follow the game's engaging plot.
It's
Do you think-
a weird thing to say, but it's true.
Do you think we're going to get Shadow?
No.
I think if we have a third, we'll get Shadow.
Yeah, you can't introduce Shadow before Knuckles, or even
Or
in
at the same
game.
time.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
the same film. Yeah,
I think they're too. I think if they did that, Shadow would come off as way too emo.
Yeah.
And Knuckles would come off as too much of a knucklehead.
well, it
Meathead.
depends on how they're trying to show him. If they're trying to show him like the Sonic, what's that one called? The TV show.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about.
know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they play him up like he's a dumbass in that one,
Yeah.
which is so weird because as a kid, I'm just like, dude, this guy's
He was a
defending-
villain.
Yeah, he was like, dude, I gotta fight this guy.
I
He's
feel like they have.
fucking hours?
I feel like they have to go Shadow the Hedgehog.
No, it's too early. They just introduced Tails, dude. Don't put Tails being really introducced in the second one. Being shown in the first one, fine, but being introduced truly in the second one, and then put Shadow in there. Do that on the third one.
I mean, your main villain has to be Jim Carrey, right?
Yeah, he's gonna come back.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't.
And Shadow's not a villain.
Right. Well, he's gonna be a villain for most of the movie, and then they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, we're clearly."
It's got to be something like where Shadow and Robotnik work together,
right
for some portion of the movie,
Or like mind control, or wasn't he mind controlled? He was mind controlled.
no,
No,
He was
wasn't.
lied to, right?
But his something like that. There was like some girl. Which is
Well, he had
interspecies.
ulterior motives.
Yeah.
He had ulterior motives to work with Eggman. And then when he found out that Eggman wasn't being completely honest with him, then he told him to fuck off.
Yeah. Exactly like that. Hey, fuck off, Eggman. In a Sonic game, drop the F-bomb.
Yeah, because to me, like that would be Sonic is clearly like overpowered, crazy, fast guy. We established that in the first movie. In the second one, we have to have somebody that matches him, so it gives him an obstacle.
Knuckles. Have Knuckles be the main villain, or not the main villain, but the hurdle that he has to climb. Not necessarily that he's evil. It's just they're on opposite ends of the spectrum in the sense of what they have to do. Maybe Chaos Emeralds are a thing. Knuckles is defending them, so as a result, they clash. Knuckles wasn't really evil in Sonic 3.
Okay, what if Knuckles is defending the Chaos Emeralds, Sonic and Shadow are going for the Chaos Emeralds?
In the third one, sure. But not the second one.
I don't think this movie is getting 3 with Jim Carrey in it.
Yeah, but you just said don't introduce Knuckles and Shadow in the same one.
I said that because I wanted Knuckles to be a main character, but now I'm kind of thinking that he and Tails take the back burners and just be in scenes, but not the entire, like every scene.
I don't remember how Sonic 1 ends, but Sonic 2, you're in space. I don't know if that's you take, yeah.
They just go with that story. That sounds pretty good.
Metal Sonic.
I don't think they're gonna follow the video games. They didn't for the first movie.
But he's a character. Metal Sonic is a character that shows up. He's in Sonic CD and he's in Sonic 2. It's the first time you ever see him.
Yeah, I think it's a video game. That's very video game.
Because he's like, I just want to build another Sonic, and then Sonic's got to go faster than he ever has before.
Just think of the trailer. Think of the trailer when they introduced this movie. It looks right if you put Shadow the Hedgehog in there, and they're like, "Oh my God, there's another hedgehog. Is it Sonic that's tearing the streets apart?" I mean, that just seems like an obvious win-win.
I bet you they can get 3. I bet you they can get 3. If 2 is good enough, they can get 3.
I think this is one of those ones where it's like, do Metal Sonic after Shadow. Like I really feel like your next movie has to have Shadow to even have a chance of getting it 3 movies out of it. Because he was like the only like really interesting character story after Sonic. Are we gonna have a whole thing about Amy?
Oh, and Rouge the Bat.
Yeah,
Who looks
I'll
like
watch
a
that.
grotesque ass bat and shit. She's like,
yeah.
I'll watch.
drooling and shit. No, thank you.
I can't put a bat in a movie anytime in the next couple of years.
You can't sexualize a bat either.
No,
But
Not
Batman's a thing.
with COVID going on right now, Batman's delayed, Rouge is delayed.
Oh, man.
That big Rouge push is ended.
This guy goes, gotta try and finish the movie because I grew up on Sonic 2, but I tried watching this twice now and couldn't get past the first 10 minutes. The first response is, give it a shot! Lower your expectations. Oh, man. This isn't the Irishman.
Yeah. I don't know. It's fine for what it is.
I wouldn't use the Irishman as the bar either.
The guy's name is God.
Oh, God is talking to John.
Thanks for your opinion, John. Like, maybe I'll give it a shot. Okay. Do you have any more news, JD?
That's sort of got us up to date. The last real thing, I guess, was Call of Duty. The new Call of Duty is looking at being developed by Treyarch, and it's going to be Cold War oriented, is the rumor.
So just a lot of political
I mean,
machinations.
if I'm being honest, Black Ops, the first Black Ops, was really good. The story for it, one of the numbers mean Mason, like all that shit, and then like the twist, I wasn't even expecting it from them. I appreciate it,
Okay.
so I give them credit for that. And then, I mean, this last one, this is actually my favorite Call of Duty. Like I always used to say the first Modern Warfare, but this one is the story for it. It's reimagining. It's the same characters. Fine, fuck it, but I'm giving them more credit. I think I'm invested to look at the next, what's it called? And the free games for June. One is Call of Duty World War II. The other one being Battlefront 2. Starting on June 2nd.
For PS4
Yeah.
Plus.
So I mean, technically, we've never played Battlefield. Is that something that you or Battlefront? Is that something that you'd want to do, Spence?
I'll play with you. I remember playing a little bit at Eric's house and sucking really bad. So
The game still looks great. I think was it the White Engine or something like that? It still looks beautiful.
Yeah, it's an amazing looking game. It always has.
Yeah,
Frostbite engine, right?
Yes, thank you. It's the Frostbite engine. I was like, what the fuck is the engine called? And then you're
Did you
gonna
call
get
it White Bite?
No, I called it the White Engine. That's Final Fantasy's engine.
Oh,
Or
What's
what?
whiter?
You're gonna get to play as your favorite character though,
Oh god.
Ray.
Grievous.
General Grievous is stupid.
General Kenobi. He's got the corona.
Yeah, he was trying to warn us.
Yeah, stay away.
6 feet away.
Wow. Until June 1st, you could still grab May's lineup, which is Cities Skyline, there's Skylines, and Farming Simulator 19. Or you can wait one day and get Call of Duty World War II and Battlefront 2.
Fuck them. We're in a fucking quarantine. Do you believe that shit? We're in a quarantine. We can't leave our houses, and their free games are Cities Skyline and Farming Simulator. 2 things that nobody can do. That is so stupid. There's a practical joke.
The funny thing was, Britt was hitting me up about wanting to play. She's like, well, I want to play a game too if you're going to be playing Final Fantasy 14. And she's like, I really like The Sims. And then I saw that the free game of the month was Sims. It was Cities, whatever.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, it's basically like SimCity. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, you can play that. And I searched my library on the PS4. I actually own Sims 4 for free. At some point during this whole thing, I added it. And I was like, oh, I'll download that for you. You can play that while I play Final Fantasy. But it was just interesting to me that like I've been collecting all of these games. And then someone finally was like, I'm going to use it.
That's the smart route with those. Any of the free games, just get it so you have the license for it.
Yeah.
Get it, play it later. Like I have Titanfall 2. I'll eventually play it, but later.
She might like those like adventure games.
Nope.
Like the Telltales kind of games?
Maybe. It would have to depend on what. She has an issue with just animated graphics in general. Like if she's looking for a story.
Detroit.
She's looking for a story, it's hard for her to want to watch a cartoony thing.
Mine got really into Detroit Become Human.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. She beat it. I was like, you don't game.
She's playing Death Stranding.
Yeah, she's playing Death Stranding.
Yeah, she messaged me. She's like, hey, how do I recharge my bike? I'm like, what?
That's because of Norman Reedus, though. That's not.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. It's all good.
All right, well, that's it for the podcast. It's been a pleasure, guys. We definitely hit our mark. We got a little bit over, but I think we nailed it pretty well here.
Yeah. We're getting better.
Eric, is there anything you want to say to the people?
Tell me about your favorite video game.
Tell me about your favorite hockey team in Africa.
What's the best hockey team in Africa? Put that in the comments below. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you guys in the future. Be safe. Bye-bye.